Okay, so hi to everyone, this is Dark and welcome back to FreeSpace 2. So I'm gonna start a new campaign called Return to Sol, which is a sequel of Incursion. So I've got two bad news and one good news. Let's start with the bad news. The bad news is that Incursion, so the one that I played, is actually not the not the version which is like 100% maximized in terms of graphics. So to get it simple or to make it clear, there is a team called FreeSpace 2 Restoration Campaign Project on the Hard Light Productions forum, which aims at upgrading the campaigns. And basically, they upgraded Incursion and Return to Sol. And if you check that out, so you just have to go to the Hard Light Productions page, go to the FreeSpace 2 Restoration Campaign Project thread, and just get the latest ones. Just extract it and place it to your FreeSpace 2 folder, to the main folder, and you can activate it using the WX launcher. And basically, if you do that, you will see that all the textures and everything look even more polished and more detailed. So yeah, I'm a bit sad because I recorded, as you know, I already recorded Incursion, and basically that one is not that beautiful compared to this, but I'm not going to play everything. So yeah, as I said, I used the Incursion campaign just to test everything out. So this is the first thing. However, I'm gonna try to get all the upgraded versions of these campaigns that I'm going to play. I think FreeSpace 2 the Great War doesn't have any upgraded version, so that's not a big issue, and Inferno still doesn't have either. So also this upgraded version of the campaigns fixes some bugs. Also, for example, if you remember the transport, it couldn't dock with the Sobek, and stuff like that. So this is the first bad news. The second bad news is that there's an issue with Return to Sol, which I also had in the original version, and I still have it in this one. When you try to launch this campaign, even the upgraded one, you get errors, which basically drop you out of the game back to the desktop, and you need to click on debug all the time to get it started. So, and Fraps doesn't really like this. So I will try my best to record this campaign like the way that I did now. So yeah, that's the second bad news, but I will try to figure this out myself. And the good news is that I can finally start playing Return to Sol with maximized graphics. So luckily, okay. So let's see what this campaign is about. So this is the sequel of Incursion.
Welcome to Delta Serpentine Pilots. I am Captain Shores, commander of the GDC Griffon cruiser, the Portage. The Griffon is the GDCA's most advanced cruiser and is currently being deployed to replace the antiquated Leviathan and Fenris cruisers. Its most notable upgrade is its ability to house 8 fighter craft within its hull, making it a dropship for remote engagements. Even though you will be stationed at the Delta Serpentine GDI base, you will escort my ship on any mission the Portage is assigned. For those of you newly stationed here in Delta Serpentine, I will outline the situation in this system. Delta Serpentine is the political center of the GDA. It is also the heaviest populated GDA system, and generates a significant amount of our military production. It was the only system that linked Sol to the rest of the universe, until the destabilization of the Sol Serpentine node over 45 years ago.
Yeah, there are some spelling errors.
After the Second War with the Shivans, the GDA began work on a Knossos device to relink Sol with the rest of the GDA. While optimism was high that we could relink Sol within a few years, the project has met with countless technical challenges. Now, 13 years later, the Knossos device is nearly ready to be used.
13 years later.
The GDC Portage is tasked with protecting the construction operation in its final stages. While there is almost no pirate activity in this system, we have another threat to face, the Sovereignty Alliance. While not officially recognized by the GDA, This parapolitical group commands a significant amount of support throughout Delta Serpentis and abroad.
The GTB has to save from...
The alliance was formed in recent years when it became public knowledge that the GDA was building a console to relink Sol.
itself
As
from
far as
itself.
the alliance is concerned, Sol has no place as part of the GDA. They fear that once contact with Sol is re-established, the GDA will be forced to dissolve and Sol will once again assert control over Terran systems. Animosity is greatest in Delta Serpentis, since this is where the GDA is headquartered. Many businessmen and bureaucrats do not want to see their way of life changed and are vocally opposing the relinking of Sol with the GDA.
That actually has...
Recently, there are reports of death threats against the workers and scientists involved in constructing the consoles. There has also been pirate activity against ships involved in the console's construction. While there have been no significant losses of life, large amounts of materials needed in construction has been stolen or destroyed. Work on the consoles has slowed as a result. While those involved in this pirate activity have not been caught, likely these are Sovereignty Alliance supporters who are trying to take matters into their own hands and prevent the completion of the consoles.
And it sucks.
The Alliance may have some public support, but they do not possess any significant military assets. Nonetheless, do not underestimate them. They do not seem interested in dying for their cause and will likely only strike GDA targets they think they can defeat. Tomorrow, you will be assigned to your fighter wings. Try and settle in at your new assignment. Dismissed.
So this campaign is really good, you will see.
The Silk device being built in Delta Serpentis is nearly complete. The Alberta and Fuji are the station science vessels leading the construction of the node. We just received a report from the Alberta that a possible hostile had jumped in near the node. While the ship is not engaging, it is also not responding to our hails. We suspect it is gathering intel on the area for an attack by a larger force. Delta Serpentis is headquarters to a dissident political group that strongly oppose opening this portal. As completion nears, they are getting more vocal and violent. They could attempt to disrupt continued work on the Sol portal. Command has ordered the GDC Portage and Alpha Wing to secure the area.
I just don't understand why you have to send only a small portion. So if you take a look at
This is the GDC Portage. We've arrived with Alpha Wing. What's your status?
Look at this space. So that's how incursion will look like
Good to see
as
you
well.
here, Portage. An unidentified craft just appeared on the other side of the console's device. It's not responding to our hails. It's just flying around, staying out of weapons range. Whoever they are, they're creeping us out. Roger, Alberta. Alpha Wing, intercept the ship, vodka evade. Engage it if you need to.
This ship looks cool also. Okay, so this is a Loki class fighter, which is basically a FreeSpace 1 original silent Reteros ship and a FreeSpace 2 NTF ship. So as you can see, there are greater details, and this is why I'm sad about incursion a bit, but not a big issue though. I think the only limitation, yeah, everything has greater
Command, the ship that arrived escaped before
detail.
one could engage it. Looked like a scout ship of some kind, Loki class. Confirmed Alpha Wing. Stay alert, there could be more coming.
So yeah, I think the only limitation I have is my resolution.
Alpha Wing, new hostile contacts just jumped in. Protect our ships building the console's device. Engage the enemy.
Although I
To
have the
all
maximum
GDA
resolution
vessels,
I can
we
get.
are the Sovereignty Alliance. We are a free and self-determined people that do not require the corrupt leadership of Sol. We demand that you leave this area immediately so we may halt the portal's construction without interference. Stand down, Sovereignty Alliance. The GDA military does not bow to public opinion, or the threats of a few thugs. You will be destroyed unless you stand down immediately. So be it, GDA pulpit. Your failure to be reasonable about this will bring about your deaths. 2 new cruisers just jumped in. The Spartan and the Reaper are attacking the portage. More enemy fighters inbound. We are sending Beta Wing to engage the enemy. Alpha, protect the Alberta and Fuji. At least one ship must survive. The Spartan has been destroyed.
Check your six. Hull integrity failing. Get me out of here, Command.
Alpha Wing, the Real is attacking our console's construction ships. You must defend the Alberta and the Fuji. At least one of these ships must survive to complete the work on the portal.
The portage will handle those.
The Real has been destroyed.
Oh, Ulysses.
Breaking to attack. I've got him in my sights.
It's again a FreeSpace one aero ship. Fenris. The ship is very easy to destroy anyway.
The Real has been destroyed. All hostiles cruisers have been eliminated. All fighters have fled or been destroyed. Good work, Alpha. You can jump back to base. We will secure the port until Command sends reinforcements.
Okay. So everything looks
Good
in
work
more
protecting the
details.
GDC portage. It looked like the ambush was going to succeed, but Alpha and Beta Wings kept us safe. You are to be commended for ensuring the safety of the scientists working on the console's portal. While this attack is a delay for us, we should be ready for a port activation test in the next couple of days. We have no recommendations for you.
So yeah, I will try my best to get the next campaigns with which are campaign versions which are compatible with the latest media VPS. Okay, so thank you guys for watching and see you guys in the next one.